other life on a regular that you still do, which is now the music and the DJing.
Yes.
So how did you like start that off, or?
Basically, how we started off. Let me just give you a little brief of me. I was born in Sudan when it was Sudan, and at age of 5, I had to leave to go to Egypt because my dad was in politics, and his life or our life was in danger and stuff like that. Then we lived in Egypt for 5 years. Then we moved to the UK. All of my siblings, we moved to UK, and I stayed there for 16 years. Most of my sisters, brothers, they still live in the UK. The reason I chose to come back, it was just before independence. We voted to separate from Sudan, to have our own country, because it was two different countries basically, and like my complexion way darker than probably one of the darkest people in the world, and Sudan, people from Sudan is more, they identify themselves majority Arabs, so that complexion of, let's say, Somalis or Ethiopian, Eritrean kind of type, so there was a lot of discrimination that was going on at some point. So before independence, I moved back home. My cousins from Australia, they're like, listen, it's fun here, come here, so went back to South Sudan before independence. The greatest thing is I witnessed the independence. We was there. Then at that time, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in South Sudan. To be honest, majority of people, they were just looking for contracts here and there, and I wasn't about that life because it was just getting dressed up and just some old guy telling you,
Put that suit on.
So
Yeah.
and when I got to South Sudan, obviously my influence in music wise was hip hop and R&B. I didn't know what African music apart from the Congolese music. So we came home, and then we set up a night. Me and my other two friends, Denkon and Lual. So we started a night, and people loved the fresh music that we was playing. So we put on a night literally once a week in South Sudan, and everybody was full, like more than 500 people. We started 2011 all the way to 2013, and unfortunately the war broke out. Then from that point, obviously I didn't want to do nightlife there because it was partly dangerous at that time. So from there I started DJing literally outside. I DJed in America a few times in the South Sudanese events, and Australia in South Sudanese events, because the joy was to see my people coming together and celebrating regardless of what was happening. So it was really, and then the biggest platform that I DJ'd in, fortunately, because there was my brother knows DJ Khaled, and I was like, I want to play, I want to be in this, event, and luckily they put me in the event. And I think at the time they were like, it's because he's his brother and he plays music, so just let him put, let, but I can
give him like,
just give it to him,
Yeah.
Then I went to DJ, and they're like, oh, he's actually good,
It's good.
So,
He's playing good.
so from there, they asked me to come back again. So I did it last year, Summer Cruise 2019. And then I'm doing it again this year. I went in there, shut it down with the Afro beats. To be honest, I was like, I only play African music, so I just gave it to them. I can play every other music, but
it also just makes sense because they want a different feel, and you know how like African music now has like just taken over like everywhere. Everybody's doing it, from Cardi B, Beyonce, anybody who's like mainstream.
Yeah,
they're doing it.
And what's crazy, I had a conversation with DJ Khaled about 4 years ago, and I said to him, bro, trust me, Afro beats is gonna be big. He didn't believe it, you know. But now,
and he's one of those people who always jumps on every trend. He's just like, yo, yeah. I think he missed out on that.
Yeah, but it's still growing, so it's not even too late at the moment, you know. So, which is a good thing. But you know, like in America, if you concentrate in America, it's only few people that would just be open-minded to, you know. Like I think one of the first people that jumped on it was Drake. You know,
immediately he didn't even waste any time. He was just like,
yeah.
And this is when Wizkid was just like getting his fast hits. Drake like spotted, and but Drake is known for that. He just spots like anybody, even UK, he spots everything. No,
he follows UK music very much, you know. And to be honest, before even that Wizkid and Drake song, Wizkid has been killing it for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
He's been killing it for a long time.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, okay, now the projection now, because, you know, you're doing like, if you're in the UK, you'll get a spot, you will play. In the States, you do have like now already like a connect, you can play.
Yeah.
And now like also now in Kenya, you're also trying to set a footprint like in just like, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Why are you taking that deep breath like?
No, because I moved here to Kenya. It's a base for me.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was doing renovation construction for a family house. So I told myself I didn't want my attention to be divided. So let me do this construction. And after I finished that, I said to myself, Kenyan people will know who I am by the time I finish here.
Yeah.
So I started DJing now here, not on a regularly, but the more I play somewhere, I'm getting rebooked because I can actually play. You know, if you go to SoundCloud.com and you search DJ Biggie Deng, so DJ BIGGIE Deng DENG. Trust me, like the music in there,
the heat is there,
nuts,
and
it's
super
nuts.
consistent as well.
Yeah.
But it's also on Apple Podcast, right?
Yeah, Apple Podcast. The podcast, to be honest, I use the bandwidth in that, so I can't. It's maximized.
Yeah.
But
because for me, I have to pay every month.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
But like for me, SoundCloud works the best for me because you could download the mixes.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using your laptop, and obviously you can just listen to it,
have it like on playback, or just organize it in your files.
Yeah. And I think I have more than 20 mixes in there, and trust me, them mixes that I put out a mix more than a year ago, and the DJs wasn't even playing that shit, you know. So
yeah, what's the biggest contrast when you're playing music